And then you have these other technologies that are starting to say, okay, now you're on a call. Maybe it's the call that came into you. It was perfectly proportionate for what you're going to be successful at. But now do what you should be doing the right way, right? And so as we move forward into the future, I'd love to understand, what do you see as the future, both in your business, your technology, and kind of how call centers and contact centers are embracing this more success at the individual level and a more real-time experience?
Yeah, I very much want to evolve us into being a little bit more real-time, but for a different reason. You spoke about, I would like to be able to see the impact, not on the, of course, it's important to understand that he's having a bad day. I get that part. But I'm interested in the external environment as to what's happening in the customer's day. And how does that influence the outcome of our calls? Obvious ones would be things like, well, this is a mom with 3 kids, and it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Should we call her now? She might kill you if you phone her, just simply because she's got kids. She's trying to get to school and she's trying to get stuff done, right? She doesn't really want to do it. That's not probably the right time to be able to have that, which could be quite opposite to a different segment of customer. But it's not, so that would be a fairly obvious example, but there would be others that you would start to say, and the analogy I often says, if it's raining in Perth, who should we phone? So in other words, if there's something happening out in the external world that might influence certain segments of those customers, we should be aware of that, and we should be able to ingest data. Now, are we capable of doing that now? No, but that's certainly a direction that I'm looking to move us into, is to be able to say, how do we maximize this outcome for the good of all, and what are the moving parts that we can ingest in a much more black boxy kind of way that today may be different to tomorrow, depending upon what's happening in the world and what's happening in those environments, so that we can do our absolute best job of making sure that meaningful conversations are happening between our agents and the end customer.